Hello, my name is Ghazal Zand. Today, I will present our work evaluating user preferences in sharing sensitive information via telepresence robots. There are a variety of commercial telepresence robots available. The Omni telepresence robot was the robot we use in this project. Telepresence robots facilitate our interaction with a remote setting where our presence is not possible. They are equipped with audiovisual systems for real-time two-way communication. As these robots become more common, it is important to ensure that sharing sensitive data remains private and secure, especially in public settings like hospitals, conferences, or senior care facilities where people share medical or personal information. However, maintaining privacy with telepresence robots can be challenging. This work studied 6 methods for sharing sensitive information via telepresence robots. These methods are pen and paper, where users write down sensitive information on paper and then present it to the telepresence robot operator. Robot display, in which users enter information directly on the robot's touch-sensitive screen using a virtual keyboard or keypad. Smartphone, by which users type information on a smartphone and then hold the device up to the camera. Speech, where users share information by speaking naturally without modifying their tone or volume. Whisper, where users share sensitive information by leaning toward the microphone and speaking softly. And silent speech, during which users communicate sensitive information by mouthing words without producing sound. Choosing each method had a purpose. Speech method serves as a baseline for comparison in this investigation. The methods pen and paper, smartphone, and whisper are based on the 3 of the most commonly used approaches in interpersonal communication. Robot display method is specifically designed to take advantage of unique characteristics of telepresence robots. Silent speech method introduces a novel approach that enhances the security of speech-based interactions. We first conducted an online survey on Amazon MTurk where participants watched short videos demonstrating methods and rated each on effort, comfort, privacy, usability, convenience, and social acceptance. Social acceptability reflects how appropriate a technology is based on social norms. Initially, the survey collected 252 responses. With an initial analysis, we excluded unreliable entries. 79 responses were considered for the final analysis. Results revealed that the robot display and smartphone methods were perceived as the most effortless and convenient, with pen and paper following closely behind. The smartphone method was rated as the most private and secure, with the robot display and pen and paper close behind. Among speech-based methods, silent speech was rated the most private and secure. Speech-based methods were considered significantly more socially acceptable than other methods from both performers' and observers' perspectives. We expected methods, robot display, smartphone, and pen and paper, to be perceived as more effortful and inconvenient due to their multiple steps and the need for additional tools. However, participants rated these methods convenient and effortless, likely because they imagined an ideal scenario where all necessary tools were already available. Our expectation aligned with the survey results, as we expected the smartphone and robot display methods to be perceived as more secure due to their digital nature. However, we were surprised that pen and paper ranked highly secure given the need for secure disposal. Some participants noted they could keep the paper safe or shred it later, which may explain this perception. Silent speech rated the most private and secure among speech-based methods, aligning with our expectations and prior findings as it eliminates vocalization. Finally, we were surprised that speech-based methods rated highly on social acceptability, despite previous studies indicating discomfort with speech in public settings. Hence, to investigate whether this preference was influenced by participants not using the methods firsthand, we conducted a follow-up Wizard of Oz study. The operator controlled the robot interface remotely from a separate room, and the participant interacted with the operator through robot. Another researcher discreetly observed and recorded participant behavior. In the study, 12 participants used the methods to share fictitious sensitive information via an omni-telepresence robot. We logged the time participants took to prepare for sharing information, the input time, which is the time they took to actually share the information, and the verification time, which is the time they took to confirm the accuracy of the information recognized by the system. Also, similar to the crowdsourced study, participants were asked to rate each method they used on effort, comfort, privacy, usability, convenience, and social acceptance. Results showed no significant differences in preparation and verification times between methods, likely because participants were provided with all necessary tools to eliminate confounding variables. However, input time varied significantly, with speech being the fastest, followed by pen and paper, smartphone, and robot display. Unlike the survey, user feedback indicated that the speech method was perceived as the easiest and most convenient, while the pen and paper method required the most effort and was the least comfortable. The robot display method was rated highest for privacy and security, followed by the smartphone and silent speech. The robot display method was considered significantly more socially acceptable. The speech-based methods were deemed the least socially acceptable, although silent speech performed relatively well among them. Some of the user study findings contradict and some match with the survey results. In the online survey, the speech method was rated significantly less convenient compared to the other speech-based method, while in the user study, participants found it to be more effortless method. In the survey, pen and paper method was rated as convenient and effortless, but in user study, it was perceived as effortful and inconvenient. This may be because most participants did not bring a pen and paper with them, which may have caused them to consider more realistic scenarios. Ratings for perceived privacy and security in user study were closely aligned with the crowdsourced study, where the robot display and smartphone also ranked highest in privacy and security. In the survey, participants rated the speech-based methods as significantly more socially acceptable, but in user studies, speech-based methods were rated the least socially acceptable than the other methods. Comparing the survey and the user study results show that these shifts in participants' perceptions after using methods highlight the importance of hands-on testing for novel technologies. Based on the findings, we recommend offering multiple information sharing methods in telepresence robots to enhance both usability and privacy. In future work, we will explore additional input methods such as gesture-based interfaces to improve security, convenience, and usability in telepresence robots. We will also investigate how environment factors, including background noise, lighting, and bystanders, influence user perceptions of privacy and security. Thank you.